You're sitting in an open vehicle in the middle of the African savannah. No windows. No doors. Nothing but a canvas roof and a metal frame. The wind brushes your face. The engine is off. The air is still. Then, from behind a curtain of golden grass, it emerges. A lion. Not in a zoo. Not behind glass. A real lion. Alive. Alert. Majestic. And it's walking straight toward you. You freeze. Your breath catches. Your heart pounds so hard you think it might shake the whole vehicle. Every instinct in your body is screaming, move, run, scream, but you don't. And just as you brace for the impossible, for a leap, a roar, a charge, the lion glances your way, then walks right past you.
Come.
Uninterested. Like you're nothing more than a rock on the side of the road. Why does this apex predator, the king of beasts, the alpha hunter, the master of the savannah, completely ignore you? Not curious. Not defensive. Not even mildly intrigued. Just indifferent. It's a question that's puzzled tourists, wildlife photographers, and even some researchers for decades. How can we be so close to one of nature's most lethal creatures, and be treated like we're invisible? To understand the answer, we have to dismantle a few assumptions, starting with how lions think, how they perceive the world, and how the rules of the wild differ dramatically from our own. Lions, like all wild animals, operate primarily on instinct and sensory input. Smell, sound, movement, body language. They don't reason the way we do. They don't have a concept of humans in a vehicle versus humans on foot in the way we think about it. To them, a safari vehicle is not a collection of individual beings. It's a single, large object. It's consistent. It smells the same every time. It moves the same way. It doesn't behave erratically. And most importantly, it's never attacked them. Over time, lions in popular safari areas have learned something important. Safari vehicles don't matter. They're not prey. They're not predators. They're just part of the environment. Strange, noisy machines that show up, move around a bit, then leave without ever posing a threat. Think of it like a passing city bus. It's big, it's loud, it rumbles by every day, but it never interacts with you. Eventually, you tune it out. It becomes background noise. That's what safari vehicles are to lions. Big, predictable machines that don't bother them. But here's the key. Lions treat the whole vehicle as one single, harmless object. As long as the people inside stay seated and don't break that shape, they blend into the machine. The moment someone leans out, stands up, or steps off the vehicle, everything changes. Now, the lion sees something moving independently, something that could be prey or a threat. And in the wild, anything unfamiliar and unpredictable is dangerous. Let's break it down. Lions are hunters, but not the kind that waste energy chasing anything that moves. They rely on stealth, patience, precision. They prefer to sneak up, strike fast, and target the weak, the slow, or the distracted. They don't go after big, strange things that don't act like prey. That's where safari vehicles come in. To a lion, a safari jeep isn't a bunch of people. It looks and smells like one big animal. A weird one, sure, but consistent. It moves the same way, makes the same sound, and never does anything threatening. No dangling arms. No flashing eyes. No sudden movement. Just a quiet, lumbering creature that comes and goes. And because it doesn't behave like prey or predator, lions ignore it. That's why guides always say, stay seated, stay still, and don't lean out. Because the moment you stick your arm out or stand up, you're no longer part of that big, harmless shape. Now, to the lion, the creature has parts. Moving parts. Exposed parts. And those parts start to look a lot like food, or at least something interesting enough to investigate. And in the wild, curiosity can quickly turn into danger. So, it's not that lions are tame or used to humans. It's that they've learned to ignore this one strange, quiet animal we ride in, as long as we don't break the illusion. But that's just the surface. The real magic of the safari experience lies not just in what the lion does, but what it doesn't do. Let's explore that. Imagine being so powerful, so dominant, that you don't need to prove it. That's the lion. It doesn't need to posture. It doesn't snarl at everything it sees. It has nothing to fear, except the unknown. And to the lion, the safari vehicle is known, familiar, predictable. But unpredictability, now, that's a problem. Let's rewind to a real incident. In 2015, a woman was visiting a wildlife park in South Africa. She leaned out of the window of her car to get a better photograph. The lioness saw her. In a fraction of a second, it charged. The woman never stood a chance. What changed? She wasn't inside the car anymore. She was now an isolated figure, moving, making noise, breaking the silhouette. She went from being part of a passive machine to prey. And lions know prey. They know it in their bones. They've evolved over millions of years to detect vulnerability. A slight limp, a momentary distraction, a break in formation. That's what they wait for. Now contrast that with the average safari experience. A dozen tourists in an open vehicle, sitting still, silent, staring through lenses. The lion barely glances up. Not because it's tame. Not because it respects humans. Simply because nothing looks like prey. But make no mistake. That indifference is not friendship. It's not mutual respect. It's a calculation. The lion is always watching. Always judging. Always waiting. The silence on safari is not peace. It's balance. A fragile, delicate balance built on centuries of interaction between humans and nature. And that balance can be broken in an instant. Lions don't react the same way everywhere. In remote areas, places where safari vehicles are rare or non-existent, lions behave very differently. They don't just sit there and ignore the trucks. They might run. They might freeze and stare. Some will circle cautiously, watching every move. Why? Because it's new. It's unfamiliar. And in the wild, unfamiliar usually means danger. But in world-famous parks like the Masai Mara, Kruger, or the Serengeti, things are different. There, lions grow up around vehicles. Literally. Cubs are born next to Land Rovers. Mothers nurse their young in the shade of jeeps. The rumble of diesel engines? It's part of their soundtrack from day one. To these lions, safari vehicles are nothing strange. They're just background noise. A normal part of life. Why? Because of conditioning. Social learning. Young lions watch their mothers ignore the vehicles, and they copy them. Again and again. Over time, that learned behavior becomes tradition. It passes from one generation to the next. But again, never mistake this for domestication. Lions are not tame. They're tolerant. There's a key difference. Let's go deeper. Let's look at how safari guides train and learn to read lion behavior. They observe body language, tail flicks, ear twitches, eye contact. A relaxed lion has a slow blink, soft eyes, head down, tail still. An agitated lion will stare, snort, paw the ground, or give a short growl. Safari guides spend years learning to read these signals, because misreading a lion's mood can be fatal. There are cases where a lion has approached a vehicle and stared directly into someone's eyes. For some tourists, it's thrilling. For guides, it's concerning. Direct eye contact can be a challenge. In lion society, it's a test of dominance. And that's the thing. We enter their world, and for the most part, they let us. But every once in a while, the mask slips. The lion remembers what it is. And in those moments, the illusion of safety dissolves. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how extraordinary this is. No fences, no barriers, and yet, two species, one predator, one potential prey, occupy the same space, peacefully. There's a certain humility in that. We are not at the top of the food chain out here. We're guests, silent observers in a world that has existed for millennia before us, and will exist long after. And still, the question echoes, why don't lions attack? Because they choose not to. And that choice is everything. Some say it's instinct. Others say it's learned behavior. But perhaps it's something deeper. A kind of ancient intelligence. A code of survival shared across species. A recognition that peace is more profitable than chaos. And so, day after day, tourists line up in open vehicles. Cameras click. Children whisper. Guides hold their breath. And lions simply walk by. They walk by with the confidence of rulers, the indifference of giants, and the unspoken warning of wild things. I see you. I tolerate you. But never forget what I am. And perhaps that's the beauty of the safari experience. Not that the lion ignores us, but that it allows us to be there at all. Would you still go on a safari, knowing all of this? Would you sit in that vehicle, inches from a predator, with nothing between you but trust and silence?